Hi everyone. What is Zaxnet? I think the best is to check what Zaxcom says about it. Zaxnet is a wireless network that runs on a user's selectable 2.4 GHz RF signal. It is used for the distribution of timecode, IFB audio, and metadata. That same Zaxnet signal is also used to control Zaxcom digital wireless transmitters. It gives you the ability to control any Zaxcom transmitter remotely. So there's no need to approach talent and fumble with the transmitter anymore. You can remotely change the frequency, preamp gain, and have the ability to place the transmitter's built-in recorder into record, playback, and stop mode. Additionally, let me highlight that Zaxnet 2.4 GHz isn't Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It is an unidirectional signal that doesn't need negotiation between devices, which creates a more reliable signal. So the first step is to choose the Zaxnet transmitting frequency in the setup menu. Press and hold the Zaxnet key. Turn on Zaxnet. Now choose your transmitting Zaxnet channel. It can be between 2.403 and 2.475 GHz. This is 75 MHz wide. Here I pick 2.430 GHz. Now scroll down to group code. The group code should be identical on your Nova and transmitters, so that in case there is another Zaxnet user around, both can have different group codes to control each Zaxnet environment independently. Let's pick the group code 1 here. If you want to send rec and stop orders to your transmitters, set transport commands to slaved. Now let's go check the transmitter settings. Press 3 times on the card key to enter the main menu and go up for the Zaxnet setup. Press menu again to confirm. On the first page, set Zaxnet mode to RX so that it receives orders from the Nova. Press menu to go to the next page. Here, we find our RX Zaxnet frequency. We should set it to 2.430 like we did on the Nova. Next page is group code. Set it to 1 on all your transmitters so the Nova can control this specific group of transmitters. The next page is the unit code. Each of your transmitters should have its own unit code to be controlled independently. So, in my case, my first transmitter will have the unit code 1. The second one will be unit 2, and so on. Once you're finished with the Zaxnet setup, press card key 3 times to go back to the main display. If you want to quickly check the Zaxnet setup of the unit, press the up key. Press the down key and it will show the timecode, FPS, user bits, and the time left in its micro SD card. Press the menu key 3 times to lock the unit. You can still press these keys to display some other informations while the transmitter is locked. Let's go back on the Nova to assign these unit codes to the receiver inputs. Additional pressing on the bank key will advance to the next bank. Pressing it once will display what is assigned to the faders in the bank. In my pink fader bank, the 4 receiver inputs are assigned from fader number 2 to fader number 5. Now you can press the input key to enter the input setup menu. Once done, pressing the PFL keys from F1 to F5 will jump to the setup page for the input that is assigned to that fader for the current selected bank. My first receiver is on fader 2, so I press the F2 key. Scroll down to Zaxnet ID and choose the unit ID to assign for this input. I want my first receiver to control my Zaxnet ID 1, second receiver the Zaxnet ID 2, receiver 3 to control Zaxnet ID 3, and the last receiver to control the Zaxnet ID 4. Now, let's have fun. Press the Zaxnet key and your fader's LED indicators will show the preamp gain value of the transmitters. You can press the bank key anytime to remind yourself which inputs are assigned in this fader bank. Now, rotating the faders will adjust the preamp gain of its assigned unit. Nova lets you know when a Zaxnet unit is being remotely controlled by this little Z letter up there. Press the Zaxnet key again to find back your mix faders. Now that your Zaxnet is set up correctly, your transmitters are receiving the timecode and metadata. You can remotely control the transmitter's gain, frequencies, rec, play, stop, turn off, as well as wake up your RF transmission. Now, the only reason to touch a transmitter is to change its battery.